Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Destiny, and if you are a returning subscriber, as always, thank you so much for tuning into another video. It does mean a lot to me that you guys support my channel and everything that I do over here. So today's video is just me tapping into like something fall. I think we're all pretty much ready to transition into the next season, and so I just kind of wanted to do something like toasty and like warm and, you know, just something to give the fall vibes. So if you want to see me create this look, what I'm doing, please continue to watch.
It gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hot. Sometimes everything just gets hotter. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. They just keep my
Hi you guys, so today I am going to be doing my makeup, and I just felt like doing my makeup. I don't have anything to do in particular, anywhere to go in particular, but I just wanted to do my makeup with you guys because I feel like I've been posting a lot of vlogs lately, and you know, I just wanted to kind of like mix it up a little bit and do some beauty content as well. So I want to use my Natasha Denona bronze palette, and this is what that palette looks like. I don't want to blind you guys, but I don't know for sure if this entire palette is available, but I do know she has like a mini version of this palette, so I will link the mini version down below if I cannot find the full version of this palette. But yeah, I just wanted to get into this palette today. I feel like I only used this palette once, and I'm just like, you know, let's use our makeup, let's use our palettes, and it's kind of giving like fall vibes, and so I just kind of want to play in it and see like what I do. I do think I'm gonna show you guys the colors, try not to blind you guys. So these are the colors. I do think I want to do something kind of fall-ish because like I said, this palette is giving pretty much fall. So whether that's a matte eye or a shimmery eye, I don't know yet, haven't decided. So let's just like get into the video and see what comes about. So I do want to go ahead and start priming first, or at least apply one of my primers first, because I want it to go ahead and like settle into the skin while I am working on my brows and my eyeshadow. So first I'm going to be going in with my Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. I really like this primer. I seen a girl on TikTok using the primer, and she kind of like sold me on going out the same day and buying the primer because her makeup had looked really good. So I'm just gonna rub it in the areas pretty much like all over for the most part. So I don't know if you guys can tell when I apply the primer, but it definitely does something to the skin to kind of like just kind of smooth it out, so to speak. So I really do like this primer. I think this is the smaller primer or the second to smallest primer. I do think they have one that's a little bit smaller than this. I'm not sure, but definitely will have all the products linked down below if you guys are interested in purchasing anything I use in this video. So I told you guys in my last video that I cannot get my hands on my NYX brow pen that I purchased. It's probably in one of these bags somewhere in my room, but I am gonna go in with my Urban Decay Slick Day brow gel first, just to kind of like mold my brows where I want them to go, and then I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit and kind of like move to my eyes, and then I'm gonna go back and kind of like do light stroke hairs on my brows, because I like to allow the product to kind of dry down first before I try to go over it with my pencil, because it will move the gel around and I don't want that to happen. So let's go ahead and mold the brows really quickly.
Midnight, so hard to please. Drowning in fears like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know.
So I am gonna to go in with my Sephora Best Skin Ever Full Coverage Multi-Use Concealer to use as like a base and a primer for my eyelids, and this is in the shade 34.5 Neutral. I am running low on my Fenty concealer, so I need to grab some of that maybe today or sometime this weekend. I am going to kind of let that get a little bit tacky first because I wanted to have more of a full coverage look. So I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit so that it can have more of like a full coverage effect. So first I'm gonna go in with more of like a fluffier brush just to kind of like give like this seamless blend in my crease, and then I'm gonna go in with more of a taper blending brush to like darken it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna go in with like a shadow, and then we're gonna move on from there. So the first shade I'm gonna use is called Suntan.
Instead, I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff we planned. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby.
So this palette doesn't have a lot of like variations of brown shades, so I am going to dip in my By Mario palette, and I'm going to take a brown shade from that palette and kind of like do the same thing that you just saw me do in my crease with the fluffy brush.
Concrete, so bittersweet, huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting.
So now that we have like our crease blended out enough, I'm going to go in with a shade called Magma, and I'm going to use that all over my lid, and I'm just going to kind of leave a little bit of room in my inner tear corners so that way I can add like a sparkle.
I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees.
And now I'm going to take the more tapered brush, and then I'm going to go in with a darker shade in my crease just a little bit. But that palette does not have, like I said, a lot of brown tones, so I'm just gonna go in my Natasha Denona palette again, and I'm gonna take a darker shade to deepen up the crease.
You know, sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying.
So next up, I'm going to take the shade called Silk, and I'm just going to place that in both of the inner corners of my eye. So I think I'm going to do a black wing liner. I have not done that in so long, but I don't know. I just feel like doing a little bit extra today. So let me grab the eyeliner, and then I'm gonna struggle a little bit probably, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. So I'm gonna go in with the Kat Von D tattoo liner. I'm not gonna lie, I need to be very close to my face when I do this. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'll come right back.
About the stuff we play, how I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff we play, how I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby.
So you guys, I want to be extra again today. I purchased these lashes like a very long time ago. They are the Ardell Professional Faux Mink Individual Lashes. I never used them. I've had them in my drawer for a very long time, so I guess today is the day we're going to test them out because I don't really have anywhere to go. So if I don't like them, whatever, I don't have anywhere to be. So let's open this up and kind of see like where we go from here. So they have variations of the sizes. So they have short, medium, and long. And I'm just going to guess that you start out with the long on the outer corner, work your way to the medium, and then short on the inner corner. I may not go all the way down to my lash line. I mean, not my lash line. I might not go all the way through to my inner corner. So what I think I'm going to do is apply a little bit of mascara and then just kind of like go from there. So I'm going to take my L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara in the shade Carbon Black. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but naturally I already have pretty long lashes, and then just adding that lengthening or volumizing mascara to my lashes, it kind of like help just extend them out a little bit. So I don't think I need any down there. I just kind of want to give it more of like a fuller look towards the end of my eye. So let me like apply some, and then I'll come back and show you guys what we have going.
Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark, and maybe just a better kind of bitter.
Okay, so I am going to take a little bit of a break on my lashes. Probably not going to even do anything else to them, but I'll show you guys like as much of the lashes that I have used, if it will focus. So yeah, I use I use a good amount of lashes on my eyes. So I do want to preface this by saying that I did buy these lashes with the intentions of just enhancing my natural lashes, so they weren't meant to be like bold like how you see them now. So I did go and kind of like overlap a little bit and double up on the outer corner a little bit, and then I took a little bit of the medium size as well and kind of like overlap because there was a little bit of gaps in between my lashes. Please keep in mind that this is my very first time doing this. Like I said, I've had these for a very long time, never took them out the box. At the time, I thought I was going to like open them immediately and use them, but I didn't. So yeah, I feel like I did a pretty decent job for it being my very first time. The only thing I will say is for my left eye, it might not look as seamless as the right side because it's kind of hard to like do the opposite eye when it's easier to just like place on your dominant side. So for me, it was a little bit challenging. So I tried to do the best that I could, but I did want to stop because I didn't want to do too much and then just not like it in general. So these are what the eyes are looking like with the lashes. And if you are curious, again, these were the Faux Mink Individuals, luxuriously lightweight and knot free, short, medium, and long style. This is what the packaging looked like. And I did buy these from Ulta, so if that helps, I got them from Ulta. So now we are going to go in with our second primer, and then I'm also going to be like filling in my brows just a little bit using my Precisely Brow Pencil in the shade 4.5. So I'm actually going to go in with the NYX the Face Glue Gripping Primer again because I really did like the primer. It kind of shocked me a little bit. Kind of gives the like same effect as like the e.l.f. gripping primer, I guess. But if I'm being honest with this primer, I did feel more of the grippiness a little bit more than I do with the e.l.f. like right off the bat.
Ocean, negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder.
So again, like I said, when you allow the glue to kind of dry, which it probably been dry a little while ago, it just makes it a little bit easier for you to like go in and like fill in the sparse areas and not worrying about the glue moving around and like moving your lashes, or not your lashes, moving your brows out of place. So I filled them in like pretty lightly, not too dramatic. I don't want to overdo it. So because I already have a lot going on with the lashes. So now we are going to move on, and I think I'm going to do a little bit of contour today, but I'm going to do the contour first, only because I think with me having dark marks when I am going over my foundation with my contour, I feel like it kind of moves it a little bit and kind of like mess up what I already put down for my foundation. And I think I'm gonna just go in and like do the contour first. So as you guys know, I use the by Mario soft scope shaping stick in the shade dark. So before I blend that out, I'm gonna take my Destanenmoore Yummy Skin blush in the shade Rose and Brunch. So I really love this blush just because I just feel like it's easy to use and it's very buildable if you want more of your blush to peek through. I don't necessarily want to have a lot of blush peeking through because I feel like having this base to start out with, once I go on top of that with my powder blush, I feel like it just kind of gives me the effect that I want. So I don't use too much. I don't try to, at least. So yeah, that's enough blush for right now, and then I'm going to blend out the contour shade.
It's just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder. You know, sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing.
I never really do too much on my nose because I already feel like I have a small nose, so I don't want to do too much, just enough to kind of give like the illusion of a snatch nose or a more snatch nose. So next up, I am going to take my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer again in the shade Caramel, and I am going to place it underneath the eyes, on the bridge of my nose, my forehead, and just to give it more of a slightly snatcher look, I'm going to add some on the outer corners of my eyes as well underneath. So while I let those sit for a little bit, I'm going to go in with my foundation. I'm going to use my Born to Glow foundation in the shade Mahogany. And I always tell you guys that this is discontinued, so I can't link it. Or if you find your shade, or if you know your shade, try Amazon or typing it in on Google, and then it will pull up places that sells it secondhand. But just be careful of where you buy it from. I got mine from Amazon, so I haven't had any issues since having it from Amazon. But again, it's discontinued. I'm sorry. I just want NYX to bring this back. I feel like if I keep using it enough, they'll be like, girl, we're gonna bring it back for you, okay? So now I'm going to take the spray and I'm going to spray my face and then blend out the concealer.
How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby, ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby, ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby.
I also like to take whatever is left on my foundation brush and kind of just like blend out the corners so it doesn't look harsh, and that it just kind of like all blends together. So I'm going to go ahead and set underneath my eyes because that tends to kind of crease up fast on me. So I am just taking my brush and kind of like blending out as much as I can. And then I am going to take some powder and just set it. So initially I start off with taking the excess off, but I also do want some of that powder to like linger around because I am going to be setting everywhere else and I just don't want that to move. So I'm gonna take my By Mario contour palette in the shade medium dark, and I'm just going to set the areas where I contoured.
What you were saying, sometimes all you need is a spark, maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand.
So I'm also gonna take some more powder and just place it on my forehead a little bit, just to kind of let it sit. And then I am going to set, or kind of like bring a little bit of that shape back to my contour. I'm also going to go in with my Milani blush in the shade Dolce Pink. I think they still sell this. I got mine from Walmart like years ago, but again, check on Amazon because usually Amazon sells like products that aren't in stores anymore either.
Sometimes all you need is a spark, maybe just a better kind of bitter.
I'm also gonna take some of my NYX mineral powder in the shade medium dark and like just kind of dust off the excess powder from everywhere else. I am gonna take a little bit more of the contour shade just to kind of like warm up the face just a little bit more, because again, I just want to give fall. I'm also gonna take a little bit of that shade Silk and I'm just gonna apply it to the tip of my nose, just a little, and kind of like go with, you know, the rest of the eyes. And I'll add a little bit too, like right at the top of the bridge of my nose. So I'm gonna take a little bit more of this setting spray again. And I'm also going to take my L'Oreal Infallible spray and just bring everything together. So I do kind of want to darken up underneath my eyes a little bit. So I'm going to take some of that brown shade from my By Mario and just kind of like darken it. So I feel like I could add a little bit of mascara to my lower lash line. So I'm going to take the L'Oreal Telescopic mascara and just apply just a little bit, not too much. So now the fun part is the lips. What do I want to do with the lips today? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see. Well, okay, let's go more of like the nude brown route so it can like tie in the fallness. Okay, so I don't think I've ever done this combination before, but I'm gonna start out with using the NYX pencil in the shade Espresso.
Much darker, even when I'm down in the lower. I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark, maybe just a better kind.
Next up, I'm going to take the shade Fortune Cookie in my butter gloss. And I don't think I've ever used this shade before, but I'm gonna go in with Cinnamon Roll.
Midnight, so hard to please.
And I think I want to go back in with some more of the Fortune Cookie. And then I am going to, I think I want to darken up the lip just a little bit more. We're gonna take the MAC lip liner in the shade Chestnut. And then I'm gonna go in with this MAC lip glass in the shade See-Through. And it's just like a nudie-ish color with like some gold flecks in it. So this is the completed makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed this somewhat of a fall-ish makeup, like really just warm and like, I don't know, it's just giving toasty vibes. So it was pretty much what I wanted to go for. I think I achieved what I was trying to do with, you know, tapping into the fallness. I think we're all pretty much over summer. I'm not too much over summer, but I am excited for fall. I wish we could just have summer and fall. Like, we don't have to do winter and we don't need spring. Like, let's just debunk all those other seasons. Let's just keep summer and fall. Let's bounce back in between. Because I feel like with summer, you get, you know, hot weather, warm weather, beach weather, lake weather. I feel like with fall, you get a little bit of a breeze, but you know, you do the fair, you go to theme parks and like, you know, just enjoy being outside without being too hot or too cold. I feel like you get like that good happy medium, that balance. So I guess this is just me tapping into my fallness, and I hope you guys enjoyed this look. If you made it to the end of this video, please make sure you give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments down below of what you want to see, what you like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, share this video with your family, with your friends. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in my next video, and until next time, bye.
What's left of me